Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show, Windy edition. Santa got his memo mixed up. We wanted a rally, a year-end rally, a Santa rally. So he brought us a different gift, and that gift is he's giving us discounts on stocks. So I guess, beggars can't be choosers. We will take what the market gives us, and we will make the best of it. In fact, for my challenge, this was actually a perfect day to be in my Discord and to be in the market. We were able to take 7 trades today, 4 of which are already in good profit. One is already up 19%, and we took the trade this morning. And so for those of you that joined me in the last 24 hours, you're in on all of those trades, and you are already seeing the potential of pullbacks in the market. For those that haven't joined, this is a 60-day challenge, but I don't control the market, and I just put in the plays when the opportunity presents itself. And so for those of you that are dragging your feet or trying to determine if you get in or not, you might want to get in sooner rather than later, because we might have more opportunities tomorrow for other great plays, and I don't want you to miss out. If you are interested in joining me now for that challenge, then I want you to click the link below, book a brief call. If all of the calls are booked, because we have a lot of people excited to get in, I will be able to just send you an email that'll let you in as well. So you can shoot me a little email. I'll leave that as well. But what I wanted to talk to you about today, I know when we have pullbacks like this, everyone wonders, okay, do I buy or do I sell all my positions? Are we going to have further downside? And so I wanted to give you a little bit of direction. If you are in quality companies that you believe will be higher a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, then you just have to be patient. And this is a great time to start to average down if you are in at a higher level than what we're seeing today. So if you're in a quality company, now if you're in speculative plays that have yet to be proven, those are the most vulnerable plays that you have. A stop loss or a trailing stop loss would have been put to good use today, and it would have kicked you out of the position so it protects you from further downside. Now, if things turn back around tomorrow, then you'll see some of those speculative plays get eaten right back up and start heading up. But on the speculative plays, companies that don't have strong balance sheets right now and they are just more speculative in nature, those are the ones that you want to make sure you have tight stop losses on, just so you don't have to weather that storm, or you can get into those same plays at a different price point that is more accretive to you enjoying it going up instead of watching it bob up and down. Now, if you are in Bitcoin plays, everyone's watching the Bitcoin plays. I have a lot of people talking about MSTR, MSTX, all of the Bitcoin miners. You have Coinbase, all of those particular plays. Those are taking a beating today. But there's always a but. If Bitcoin, or shall I say when Bitcoin, I'm of the belief that we are just at the beginning of this cycle that we're having with Bitcoin. And once the inauguration takes place, you have a more crypto-friendly administration. I think we will see Bitcoin start to soar again. Once it gets back up over 100,000, then you'll see some of these plays starting to print again for you, or at least provide you a better opportunity to get out of them. I know it's hard and I know it's an emotional dynamic, but the worst possible time to get out of plays is on a day like today when they're extremely beaten up. And your natural tendencies might be, well, what if they are more beaten up tomorrow? That could be the case. But you don't want to be in a situation where you sell out at a loss only to see a few months later you could have had significant wins. And if you keep your position size normalized, meaning you don't put more than 5 to 7% into any one particular stock or class of stocks, then you can weather that storm. The other big thing that has served my team so well is having cash available to deploy. But you don't want to throw it all at the market today. You want to wait and see. We only did some plays today. We're going to wait and see how the rest of the week treats us. We do have another day closed this week, so we've got to see how that plays out. But all in all, I see it as a great opportunity. I personally love days. I shared with my community that I felt like we got some really good entries. If we're put the shares on some of these plays, then I think that we're going to have some wonderful opportunities for some great swing trades over the coming next really 3 to 6 weeks. Okay. So I hope you're okay. If you're not with me or if you're not with the community and you're nervous, I wanted this to kind of calm you down a little and let you know, as long as you're with quality companies, that you will be okay. Sometimes time is the best healer in these situations if you don't have the cash to deploy. I want to take you into the computer. We're going to look at a few of the Mag 7 stocks and maybe one more and see how they performed on a day like today, because this is the true test. I mean, it's great when everything's flying high, right? It's easy to say, got to jump in this, got to jump in this. But what are the stocks that had the most buyers sitting in wait for when we have pullbacks? So we're going to go take a look at that right now and see what some of those great opportunities were today, and some that you just may wait a little bit longer until you start establishing your position. All right, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at where we are on the Fear and Greed Index. Currently, we're sitting at 28, which is in the fear category. Now, this is a good time to start to establish your position on certain stocks that you've always had your eye on, but they were overpriced. And if you are looking right here at extreme fear, once we dip into extreme fear, this is where you will find the best possible prices and that you can flesh out your position. Now, I have used this strategy. It's very simple, but it works. And it has to do with emotion and market sentiment. And so if you look at it this way, just a reminder to all of you, most of us in the community, when we were up here in greed and extreme greed, we did cash up on a lot of our positions. So fortunately, today we had so many wonderful opportunities to sell puts and actually do some swing trading for a few longer term buys. And we had the cash to do so because we took profit when we are here in this other category, extreme greed and greed. Now is the time to start potentially reestablishing your position. Now, we just had one significant red day, so you don't want to go ahead and spend all your money now. We have been holding out about 25% cash for this opportunity, and we just put a little of it to use today. So I wanted to go take a look at some specific Mag 7 plays, and let's go see how they fared today. And we'll look at one more I wanted to show you to see what's holding up in this market, and that can give you confidence to move forward with starting to establish your position. Now, Tesla took a hit today. It ended the day at 417. It's down a little bit more after hours. But when you look at the typical range for this stock, you'll see a 6% range. This is 6.5% when it looks over the last couple of weeks. So it's normal to see the stock range quite a bit. But if you look to see, it went as low as 415 and as high as 427. So what that's telling me is there were some bargain hunters that grabbed the stock when it pulled down and it pushed it back up to 427, but there was not enough of buyers at this level to keep it up. So we might see further downside on Tesla. We are at a really strong level of support, but the most critical level of support is around 400. And we had looked at this once before in one of my earlier videos that I had done on Tesla. And so you want to start watching this and start establishing maybe some buy orders at that critical level of support of 400. Now, NVIDIA had a great day compared to the rest of the market in the Mag 7. Let's look at it. So it ended the day at 137. It had gone as low as 134 today, and it got all the way up to 140. But when you have, this is one of the only stocks of the Mag 7 that ended the day green. And why did that end? Why did it end the day green? Well, due in large part because it was already pulled back to critical levels of support when we had this sell-off. And so just like you would do if you are shopping, bargain hunting, you're going to first go to the part of the store that has maybe 50% off to look to see if you can find something you like. And then you'll go around to the different carousels that have maybe 25% off if you don't find anything at 50% off. Well, a lot of people had NVIDIA on their shopping list, and it was the ones that was more oversold than the others. It had already had some rough weeks, and so we saw that it was at a good price and it held its own today. So this was a great day to start to establish a position in NVIDIA if you've always wanted a position in NVIDIA. Now, Palantir is another one that has been on everyone's watch list. Let's look at this. This spanned all the way from 76 all the way up to 79, but it did not have enough support to keep the buying pressure up. So Palantir ended the day at closer to that 76 level, 77, and then after market it went to 76.80. 75 is a strong level of support for Palantir, so that would be a great opportunity to either set a buy order or potentially look at selling puts. Now, if we are so close to that level right now, you can get some really good premium if you start selling puts that are close to the money and that expire this week or next. Here's Apple. Now, Apple ended the day down a little bit over 1%, so it held up better than most. It did have a span today only from 250 to 253. So this one is a more refined play. This one is one that has more stability. They do have a lot of cash on hand, so you're not going to see as many swings in this stock, but it still provides some great opportunities to establish your position at this point, being that we're at that 250 point. Now, 250 is a strong psychological level of support for Apple, so that's a good level to watch in the coming days. Google is another one. It will have a typical range of 2.8% in a day, but today it ended the day just slightly down. So that's good. That's showing that there are a lot of bargain hunters out there for this particular stock. It had ranged all the way from 189 up to 192, settling in right there at about 191. So this is a stock that, due to the quantum computing dynamic and all that's on the horizon for them, there were shoppers out there saying, hey, I'm willing to go ahead and put some money behind this play right now. Now, Meta being a higher priced stock, it had a larger range. We're seeing 585 all the way up to 596. So that's quite a big range for this particular stock, but it did end the day down about 1.5% at 591. So there could be a little bit more downside left on this one. However, we did see after hours, it did pick up a little, and you did have some post-market buying pressure, which is good. But this one is one to watch. I think there could be better prices on the horizon because it was trading very high when we got into this dynamic. The other thing to look at with Meta is right here. You see this RSI? We are under 50 on the RSI, which tells me there could be that downward pressure a little bit more coming. But it does have levels of support. 591 is a level of support that looks like it was starting to be respected today. It could go down to the band. The next level of support is quite a ways down. I mean, we're looking at 566, which this serves as the 100-day moving average. And so you've got quite a gap there. If we lose the bottom of this Bollinger Band, then this is the price to watch at 566. The last one I wanted to look at you with is Amazon. So Amazon had a good little range today, 218 all the way up to 223. But as you can see, any time this stock has a range like this and it settles in the upper quadrant of its range, then that is showing some relative strength. It was down a total of about 1% today, but its typical range can be 2%. So it held up rather well. Let's take one more look at its technicals on Yahoo Finance. We are still over 50 on the RSI. We're sitting at 52, and so it looks like the bottom of this band would be something that would be respected. However, it is still over $7 down, so 213 is the next level to watch for Amazon if you're interested in getting into Amazon. I hope you found that helpful. The main thing when you are trading markets like this is to not panic. If you have an emotional reaction to a down day like this, sometimes, honestly, it's just best to shut the computer. Just shut the computer and go enjoy the sunshine, do something different, come back when you see that things are in a different stage, and it will help you save a lot of money from making costly mistakes due to emotion. If you are with me, Trading with Ashley, there's no trader left behind. Now, in anticipation of a pullback, I had worked on a video, and I think it's very helpful if you watch that video right here.